Hey guys, it's Shadow, and today we are going to be playing some more Planet Coaster. Now today we are going to be continuing work on Port Noble, and specifically today I'm going to be introducing a new area called the Atlas Ocean. Now since I do not have the Planet Coaster Alpha 3 yet, I haven't seen, but I've heard that there is water in Alpha 3. And since I don't have it, I have Alpha 2. I used these roof panels to kind of do it. But this whole idea was actually suggested by a guy on YouTube called President. Now, he's been watching my videos, and thank you so much for watching, President. I'm so glad that I actually have a person who has been constantly watching, or at least I'm assuming you have. I don't blame you if you haven't, because there's other things to do. You don't always need to be watching me. So thank you for watching again, and thank you for the idea. It's such a cool idea, and I really like how it's turning out so far. So I started with a raised area. I guess I could have lowered it down, but I started with this raised area right here and built the path over it just a little bit off of the water, or the roof actually. And I really like how the roofing looks. It doesn't look too fake, honestly. But the only thing it's missing is say waves or something. But that's not such a big deal. So anyway, I don't know. I kind of wish there was customizable signs already. I've seen reports that Frontier promised whenever they introduced the alpha that there would be customizable signs. So I have to assume hopefully that'll be around by the beta time, hopefully. I don't really know, but it's a thing I'm kind of looking forward to, custom signs in the game. So yeah, and I don't know, here I was kind of just working on some of the paths, maybe to plan out some of the park in the future, since we don't really have a big area of planning for the park so far. So anyway, I can probably do a lot more with this area whenever I start getting into it, and this definitely isn't going to be a one-part area. I'm going to have to take two parts to be able to finish off decorating and putting some more stuff in the Atlas Ocean area. So there was a little skip right there. I don't remember what I did. I think I went to the gym or something. I don't remember what I did, but I had to go for a while. So it jumped there, and I think my game crashed. That's probably why I stopped playing for a while. But anyway, Alpha 2 seems to have a lot of game crashes. Either that or it's incompatibilities with my GeForce GTX 970 or something. I don't know what it is. But either way, it's not that big of a problem. I'll probably complain about it a lot, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, what I originally wanted to do was do a dock, and then I was like, I don't know if I can do a dock, and I started doing a land area to put the pendulum ship thingy, I don't remember what it's called, to put it on. And then I realized you can actually raise the area of rides. So what I did is I raised it up just above the dock here, and just kind of made it part of the dock. So I'm glad I figured that out. It turned out to be very beautiful in the end, so I really like how it is right now. Now I did a lot of I wouldn't really say planning around the entrance and the exit, because I obviously didn't do very much, but I wanted to decorate around the entrance and exit, and it turned out to work pretty well. So I really like it, how it turned out. So I'm probably going to say that quite a few times anyway. So yeah, I kind of I designed kind of a dock area. So whenever I was done with the path here, I ended up kind of putting supports on it, and it made it look more like an actual dock than it really was. Now there's actually an area right here where I was building right there, that weird little tiny little shape that you can barely even fit one body through. I found that kind of funny whenever I first did it, so I was like, what in the world, So that's a glitch. You would have to literally slide one person through at a time. You couldn't go through. You'd have if you're over maybe 150 pounds, you might as well forget about going through that little area. It was too short. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. It obviously did not stay in the final build. So, yeah, I added like probably hundreds of these supports all over the place, honestly, just because it looks good and it gives it more of that kind of dock feel. Even though you can't add like a wooden area for queues or anything, it still is kind of a thing that you can do. So, yeah. And I thought it looked good already, but I thought, honestly, with it being a lake, I thought there should have been like some kind of dirt or something. But since you can't do any dirt terrain editing yet, or painting, whatever you want to call it, sorry, I got choked up again. I do this in every video. Since you can't use any kind of like mud or dirt or anything, I used the sand, and it kind of gives it that beach feel. And that's almost kind of what we're going for, since it's kind of like an island piratey feel. You would think it'd be more like a beach, and it's called the Atlas Ocean, so you know what, why not? And I might even go back, and I just thought of this, I might even go back and kind of design kind of a beach somewhere. I don't know how that would end up looking, but hopefully it'd turn out good. So there was a lot of areas that I did a lot of this rock scaping on, just because I realized that there was some areas like in the cave that could probably use the good texture on it. And there was some areas where like there was rocks outside the cave, and it just kind of didn't look right without having more stone on it. So I changed it around a little bit, and it looks a little bit more natural now instead of man-made, and that's definitely what we're trying to go for here. So yeah, I didn't do too much of it. It was just more kind of this area than anything. And once I was done with this, I think I continued work here. Yeah, I did. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to place one of those pre-made docks that they have in the game, but I guess I never got around to that. I might throw in one if I can remember to do it on the next episode. But I presume the next episode will be a whole lot of me kind of doing something else, and then probably at the beginning I'll probably start with correcting some issues I have with this area. So yeah, but I kind of ran this wall along because I wanted to hide a little bit of the yellow on this ride. That yellow pre-made wall that's supposed to be, I presume, like the basement of the ride. But I wanted to hide it just so it looked a little bit more natural, even though I probably could have hid it a little bit better. But either way, I just kind of did that because I thought it was kind of necessary, to be honest. So there was a lot, like, honestly, my original idea was to just kind of have that floating wood like that, like the wood flooring, and not the siding wood like I did. And I wanted to put wood poles to look more like a dock. But in the end, I kind of settled for the way it is. It looks good the way it does. Honestly, I really like it. It is very pretty. But there ended up being like these little gaps like right here where I had to fill it in with something because I couldn't put in a roof tile to hide it. So I put these lamps just to kind of act as like filler. I might find something else to throw in there as well or something. So yeah. This is probably this isn't the end of the video, not by a far, but this is a shorter video than what you guys are probably used to, because normally I would do anywhere from like 20, well, I'd say probably like 18 to 25 minutes long. Sometimes it's gone a little bit longer than that, but this one is about 15 minutes and 15 seconds or so. Just honestly, because I didn't have a lot of time today to work on this with my Bible study, and I actually had, I went to the gym, and then I walked a dog, and it was just, I don't know, it was kind of hectic, and I had a couple more things I had to do, so I only got in about an hour and 30 minutes worth of build time today. Usually I try to aim for more than that, unless I'm doing like a normal video, but if it's a time-lapse video like this, I try to aim for more. But here I am. I'm actually adding some of these little like stilts, the wood poles. Well, they're wood poles, but they look more like dock stilts or whatever you want to call them. And they look, I really like how they look, honestly. And I added like I said earlier, probably hundreds of them to this whole area, because the whole thing is meant to look like a dock above the water, the whole area. So I kind of just had to do what I could do. And yeah, as you can see, I'm placing quite a few of them. I was really tedious with it because I wanted them to look as realistic as I could possibly get them. So I was correcting a lot of the angles that they were pointed so it looked more realistic. And some of them I didn't worry about because it wasn't too noticeable. But one thing that I would have done if I could have gone back and redid it, which I'm definitely not going to do because it's too many stilts to work on. But what I would have done is rotated them every single like pole I put down, which I didn't do actually. And it just would have added that little diversity to it because they have different patterns. I can't say this word all of a sudden. They have different patterns on each pole or each side of the pole. So if you rotate it one, it won't look the exact same as the other one. But if you don't rotate them, then they will look the same. So that's just one thing. If I could have thought about it at the time, I would have done it. So if you're doing any build like that, just think about that because it'll add diversity to the area. Now I'm adding these little like smaller poles on this part right here because it just kind of adds that diversity that I was looking for in the build, because I don't want everything to look like it's man-made. I want it, or obviously the docks would be man-made, but I want it to just look as random as possible. Like, I don't want it to look like it was planned out or anything. Although, I guess you would have to plan out a dock if you were making a dock, right? I don't know. I don't know how to make a dock. I've never made a dock, guys. I will just put that out there. So, this is as close as I'm going to get. Unless somebody wants to hire me to build a dock, and then I can probably help you there. Advertising myself. That's amazing. That sounds horrible whenever I say that. Advertise yourself. So I ended up adding, we're not at this yet, but I ended up adding a crashed boat section because whenever President said something about this in the comments, he said something like having an ocean area with like ships and stuff. And some of the only ships that we have in the game so far are the 3 crashed segments of the giant pirate ship. And then I believe there's an actual full like pirate ship not being crashed. I'm trying to look at the screen right now. Yeah, there is one. I see it up in the corner. And then you also have the rowboat. Now, I wanted to add crashed ships just because, like, I don't know. It's kind of a closed off area. It makes it look like they ran a land or something. I don't know. Something like that. But it gave me more opportunities to kind of decorate and make it look like it was all like natural. Like, I didn't want it to look man-made. If there was just a ship floating there, I couldn't decorate it as much as I could with a crashed ship. And I ended up adding this little tentacle thing here. I don't know if I'll leave it because it's kind of blocking the view of that the last part of the hull over there of the ship. And I decorated that area pretty heavily, so I might remove the tentacle. I was just kind of playing around, and I threw it in. I was like, oh, that looks okay. And then I never really did anything with it. So I'll probably end up removing that, honestly. But what I'm doing here is I'm doing a lot of decorating to make it look more natural. And whenever I go back in the next episode, I might end up, like, I want the whole area to look like how this little area over here looks. Like, really flourished and overgrown. Almost like it's a swampy area of an ocean or something. I don't know if there is swampy oceans, but either way, I thought it was just a cool little idea that I did. And I'm going to end up making all the shore and all the area around this look like that. And that's my whole goal for the area. So, yeah. And, like, honestly, I do this on every part of the park that I can, just because it looks really good. Like, I genuinely like how it turns out. So, if you guys like it, definitely leave a like. Now, the end of the video is coming up soon. I don't want to keep rambling too long, but I don't want to leave you guys just kind of hanging with a video playing in the background doing nothing. So I'm just going to kind of keep talking, I guess. I got my mic stuff in. I don't know if you can tell any kind of difference, but I have it's genuinely a drum, like a bass drum stand, but it's meant for mics, and it works perfectly fine. It hangs right in front of my face where I need it to, and I got a pop filter, so whenever I go like that, it doesn't make a sound. So that is perfectly fine, and I love it. It looks amazing, and it sounds amazing, and it's very easy for me to use, so I'm glad I got it. So I hope you guys liked the video. I know I definitely love doing them, so if you like it, leave a like, and if you dislike it, leave a dislike, and if you really like it, subscribe and share. So I hope I see you guys in the next video. Bye!